All right. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start our regular meeting, we have some introductions. Mr. David, would you like to introduce our new staff?
Yes, it is my pleasure to introduce our staff that couldn't be with us last month. Colleen Patnod is our sixth grade teacher. She also was our modified girls soccer coach. She was out there on the field. She's a graduate of SUNY Potsdam. She did her student teaching with us, and she was so impressive, we kept her. So
your mask down just quickly so they can see you. Guys, since we're on TV, we need you to come down and go in a circle so everybody on TV can also see you. It's so just like
you can work the runway.
The last teacher
one at a time.
Yeah. One at a time when you introduce yourself. Thank you. This is Colleen.
Colleen Patnod.
Colleen also lives.
It's just like up here, Lyme runway.
Colleen lives in the community also now.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Carly Sherman is one of our new phys ed teachers. She was our boys soccer, modified soccer coach, came into a graduate of Thousand Islands, and she also graduated from SUNY Cortland. And now she is a new resident of the town of Lyme also.
Yay. She was our subbing superstar too.
Yes,
We had her sub in every department just about in the district. She did a fabulous job. So.
Last but not least is our new phys ed teacher, Kyle Bronson. Kyle hails from, I am sorry to say this, Poland, New York. Poland, New York.
I changed, so I converted. All green.
He's real excited. He's worked, he's a graduate of SUNY Brockport. He's worked in Harlem schools in New York City. Also, he worked here for BOCES in the ACES program. And he is, I've asked that he be appointed for our varsity basketball coach.
So we saved him. And he saved us.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Nice meeting you all.
Welcome.
You too.
And you're free, you don't have to say it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yep, no problem.
All right, we have a presentation this evening on Parent Square.
So this is, I just am going to show you a little short clip on Parent Square, and I did give some handouts so that if you have any questions, I'll talk to you a little bit, and maybe Pat and Barry will chime in about how we use Parent Square in the district. I'm not sure, we might want to shut the light off in that. Hopefully this won't be
busy. And they're getting school information from everywhere. Teacher apps, school texts, email newsletters, district calls, backpack flyers. Too many methods, too many places to look. Schools don't know if they're getting through all this clutter and noise. Who's saying?
Is it showing up?
Yeah.
Busy. And they're getting school information from everywhere. Teacher apps, school texts, email newsletters, district calls, backpack flyers. Too many methods, too many places to look. Schools don't know if they're getting through all this clutter and noise. Who's saying what? If family contact information is current, and who's not being reached? Wouldn't it be better if everything was in one place? So you and your families could be sure nothing and no one is missed? It's time to get organized, to get unified. Welcome to Parent Square. Parent Square unifies family communications from the district office to the classroom, all in a single platform. From district-wide alerts to individual parent-teacher messages, Parent Square's communications tools are built to work together, not piece together. Staff have to learn only one system. Parents find everything in one account. It's more than messages. It's also school services that rely on two-way communications, like filling out forms, scheduling conferences, excusing absences, and responding to progress reports. All fully integrated so parents can reply by web or app and miss nothing. Administrators also miss nothing. Usage and participation reports let them know who's not being reached and help improve communications equity. And they can trust contacts and messages will stay private and secure. Schools also increase engagement and family connections with ParentSquare's unique ability to verify and flag updates to contact details. Parents can pick preferred ways of being reached and use any of their phone numbers or email addresses to log in. That gives parents control and schools confidence important messages make it through. With ParentSquare, schools get a unified communications platform that saves time. They stay in touch with families easily and consistently. Parents have just one login account to find information and communicate with schools and teachers. They're more satisfied and involved. ParentSquare, all of your family interactions in one place.
So I've got my essay written.
So we've been using ParentSquare, as you know, for about a year now. And it has been, in my opinion, a tremendous asset in our district. I can tell you just this week, I had a training. We had a new report that we had to send out to everyone, and it had to reach every family, and it has to be filled out for every single child in the district. And I worked with Brenda, and she helped me go through the process of creating the form. Ariana's used it also for the business office. It literally, the training took about a half an hour. I went back through, created the document, and what took the longest was just typing out the questions. And we were able to reach the entire district in just a little bit of time. And the most exciting part about this is the reporting mechanism that comes with it. So when you are an administrator, so Mrs. McIntosh is an administrator, Mrs. Rickett is an administrator on there, Pat, Barry, and I are administrators. Ariana, I think you are for part of the business office. Tina Kimmis is. Anyway, when you are an administrator for certain parts, you have access to the reports. The reports will tell you everything. So this digital equity survey that I sent out, I pull up every little bit to see, first of all, how many families it reached. It reached 100% of our families. This afternoon, the last time I checked, 163 surveys had been completed. And so tomorrow I'll get on and check again, and I can pull up the families that it will automatically filter out the families who have not responded. And I can just, with a click of the button, send those families, a reminder. So it really is just a tremendous asset in the district. It costs us about $3,500 a year, and our teachers use it, coaches use it, Pat, Barry, and I use it all the time. The business office uses it. I really don't think there's anybody in the district now that's not using it. And using it frequently. I know Mrs. McIntosh for all of the sports communications finds it very helpful. And really what I find very helpful today for 3 different issues, I had 3 different parents contact me. They send me a private message on there. I get it immediately. I respond, and there's a record. So for all of the communications, we have a record. So if anything were to happen down the road and you needed access to that, that's available. So, are all of you signed up on that, and are you getting the messages okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Preferences and all that stuff, yeah. I'm afraid to mess with it.
Yeah, well, when you go through, I mean, if you look through this and you need help and you want to do some of that, for instance, you can set it so that every time we send something out, you don't get it. You can set it so that you only get messages through, let's say, 6 o'clock in the evening, and then after 6 o'clock, you won't get anything else. So you can set those preferences. If I'm sending something out, for instance, when I sent this survey, I click, there's a button that allows me to send it, even if people say, I only want to receive my messages from between 6 and 8 o'clock at night. If it's something I want them to see right away, I toggle so that they get it right then anyway. So you can override that. One thing we're trying to get a handle on is overuse, because I know that.
Is that a price, like, or is it you pay $3,500 to go year no matter how much?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But when I'm talking about overuse, I'm meaning saturating parents, saturating families with messages.
She's got more than
Yeah,
students.
so I do think that that's.
Lynn had some comment too.
Yeah,
Yes.
As a parent, I find the parent square very useful when it comes to filling out the forms. It saves you a lot of time, especially if you have more than one child, because it's already pre-filled. Which student do you want to pick, and it has their student ID number, their full name, and it just goes. It's quick and easy.
And you can
And you
fill
don't
it
have to
out
worry.
right on the phone?
Right there, and you don't have to worry about that you can't hand it in, or because that's usually the problem. And you do get quite a few, and sometimes it's a lot when you have more than one kid, but what are you gonna do? I'd rather have the communication than not have the communication. And sometimes it's hard because I don't know which student it's for.
Right.
But
One of the benefits that we had through COVID is that for athletics, we were able to still give our presentations. In the past, we've had parent meetings before the beginning of the soccer season. Well, that wasn't possible for us. So we put everything in a slideshow, all of the documents, like Lynn said, they could sign that they've seen the materials presented. And it gave and it signed the sportsman's contract so much, and parents were so happy. That was one of the real positive things. Another thing that was great, if let's say we have a divorce situation and the parents don't communicate, I can send the same text to both parents so that they can both read it, which is nice. So there's no question about what was said. So those are some added bonuses that I've noticed.
Are the kids encouraged to put it on their phone, like the older kids, like to communicate with their teachers or?
They do, but one of the challenges right now is we have the policy that we're not allowed to have phones during the day.
Well, yeah,
So
but I mean,
if-
like when they get home, like if they have.
Right, Kathy, and
teacher.
if I may finish, one of our challenges is to tell the staff during the school day, let's not, let the students, because every student in the building will pick up their phone because it's like Pavlov's dog. So that's one of the things that we're rethinking as, we went from last year to this year, from a COVID, schedule to a normal schedule. So, but it's great.
That's a very good point, Kathy, and yes, the answer is yes, that teachers do contact their students via Parent Square. There are things, for instance, if I send something out regarding a decision the district has made for sports and we want to make sure that the kids are aware, I add them to that so they get the message as well. We try not to interrupt them during the school day, but we can send those out at a later time as well. So yeah, it is a quick, some of the teachers used to use Remind, Yeah, and so this works exactly the same way. What we like about this is that because it's a district system, then we have that record
Right.
of that contact. Yeah.
So when you're saying when you get it, it doesn't necessarily say that it's coming from Mrs. Brennan or Mrs.
It might, but they might have, both of them have that teacher sometimes for different, yeah, if you know what I mean, because we're a small school.
Yeah, you're
So-
right. I couldn't think of that.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's a
Especially
good
the-
reminder,
It would
you know.
be nice if somehow we could get the report cards on there instead of having two different sites.
Mhm.
Even if
I
it's just a
mean,
photo
there
of it.
actually might be a way. It really is just amazing, and I know we haven't even touched the surface of what it can do. I was just so excited. It was funny because Indian River had that survey completed, and it was they call it in the sandbox, for the RIC. So when I spoke with Brenda, the trainer, she said, well, I'm sure they wouldn't mind. I'll just forward the document that they created and you can modify it. And I said, I don't want to do that because that's not going to help me down the road if I need to make something else. Now I can make anything I need to because I know how. But, you know, there certainly is a wide variety of forms and such that the RIC would have access to that they would probably share with us. But once you learn how to do it, it really was very quick and easy. Just some, you know, this one figured it out on her own. She didn't have to have a trainer, but I did. I'm a little older than her, so she's been doing a lot of sending a lot of stuff out with that, and yeah, people are really enjoying that. So that's it.
All right.
I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, choose the notes on that.
Yes.
All right. Moving down the consent agenda. Do we have anything?
Yes, so I just wanted to review the collector's report. The prior year's uncollected taxes were $245,829.96. This year's uncollected taxes they came out to a total of $216,461.45, which is a decrease of 11.95%. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pass this report around for the board members to sign. I started here, right? No, that's wrong. That way. And then I also wanted to address some comments that Mr. Lambert left on the general fund warrant. I'm actually just gonna read exactly what he wrote. He said that for BTS, the PO says quote attached, but no quote on. And that was because we've already paid a portion of the purchase order, and when we paid that portion last warrant, we attached the quote to that one and not to this new bill for the remaining portion. And he also said that D&W core charge of $150 wasn't collected. And I spoke to Jake about that, and he's waiting for D&W to pick up the batteries that he purchased, so he can be credited that $150 core charge. I've never had an issue with Jake not returning the core so we can get credited. He's actually really good about making sure that we get that core credited back to our account. So we've had no issues there. And I do want to note that Heather, when she receives any comments from Mr. Lambert on the warrants, when he returns the bills, she'll respond the same day to his comments, and she'll send over the supporting documentation to make sure that he has no further questions or concerns, and we make sure that it's addressed promptly. And on the general fund warrant, you'll still see some co-op bid supplies in the description. And I do want to note that the co-op supplies is from last year in January. So we're still having issues having vendors fulfilling our orders because of COVID. They're having trouble getting the supplies, they're having trouble fulfilling the orders. And we've actually run into a lot of instances where we had to contact the vendor to see where our items were, and they would say that they were discontinued. So they wouldn't contact us to let us know that the items were discontinued, so we had to cancel the order and find a different vendor and look for the vendor with the best price. So it has been quite a struggle, and we still do have some outstanding purchase orders from the co-op from last year. We'll actually be starting this next co-op coming the next couple of weeks, so. I just-
Fit sheets come out.
Yeah. So I just want you to be aware that, because of COVID, the vendors are having trouble fulfilling our orders. Yeah. And, one last thing, sorry. So I've talked to other districts in our area, specifically about fingerprinting fees, which is about $102. Other districts that I've spoken to reimburse the fingerprinting fee for full-time, non-instructional staff members. So that'd be, cleaners, cafeteria, clerical. So we would like to start reimbursing that $102 because we understand that it could be a hardship, especially now with COVID, not being able to find the staff members that, we believe that we should start reimbursing the fingerprinting fee for those staff members.
Do we reimburse the teachers right now?
We don't, but
Yeah, I know, I just,
You
I
know,
don't remember how we did it.
we don't, and most of them, have their fingerprinting done as part of their college
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the amount of money they make starting out is significantly higher than, many of our cleaners start, and our cafeteria workers start at minimum wage, and it really can be a hardship. If you're making $12.50 an hour, coming up with $102, can certainly be a hardship, so.
And I do wanna point out, with your question, that Lowell actually they don't reimburse teaching staff or subs either, so it would just be the full-time instructor. I've only heard from Alexandria and Lowell.
It's always, it's different in our school too, I know, so if you're gonna become coach, some schools might not pay around other schools.
Yeah, and especially, everyone's having trouble finding, staff members, especially cleaners and cafeterias.
So this would include substitutes or no?
No.
No.
Probably not.
It's
It's their
instructional.
teaching, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be the full-time, non-instructional.
Plus so, we
Yeah.
wouldn't wanna reimburse them when they're subbing it up.
Just on a separate note, Lynn, since Mr. Countryman's not here, do you wanna move up here so you're not so far away?
I'm okay.
Are you sure? I feel bad. Had we known, we would have had you up here, I'm so sorry. Ariana, can you touch upon the, request that we had from some taxpayers about the credit card?
Yeah, of course. So we had quite a few taxpayers reach out to Heather actually when they were paying their bills. And they wondered if they can pay their tax bill online, with the credit card payment. Unfortunately, we did not have that option, and, I reached out to, some of the other smaller districts, TI, Alexandria, Farmville, and, I got some vendor contact information, and I will be reaching out to those vendors to see if we can get that implemented before next tax season, just to give our taxpayers a different option, to pay their taxes. A lot of them,
Convenience.
yeah, convenience.
Just
Yeah.
You need
yeah.
a machine, do you?
No,
No,
so it'd be
it's
an
like a
online
program.
system, they'd go to our website, click on the link, they'd enter in their, name, tax parcel ID, the amount, and then it goes directly to our bank account once they enter in their payment information.
And any information that they would need to put in would be on the paper bill.
Yeah, so there's,
So-
yeah, and there's two different systems. There's one system that doesn't allow you to view your tax bill when you're paying it online, but the other system that I'm looking at allows you to view your bill, look at your bill, and then there's a link on there to take you to where you go to pay, and then it'll pre-fill the information. So obviously, you know, we're looking at cost and convenience, and hopefully we'll have that implemented before next year.
Some people are seasonal, so they're not up here.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they forget about it, and it's, you know, the deadline is
And I'm not a
approaching.
check writer. I don't
Yeah.
write checks.
Now, do they say anything about reason credit card machine? Pay so much.
Yeah,
The
so,
cost to that part, right?
yeah, there's
Service, yeah.
the merchant fees and the service fees, the one program that is out of the question. They, for $100 tax payment, I think they needed like $5, and that fee would be on the consumer's part. Yeah, so we probably most likely will not be going with that vendor. So yeah, hopefully I'll have an update for you in January when I present, the different vendors and the different options for the taxpayer. But I'm really excited to get that, going to make sure that, yeah.
Everything's online.
Yeah, and I think we might be one of the only districts not using a credit card system, so hopefully that'll change soon.
Any other questions for, budget, finance?
So what happens to the money that doesn't get paid for taxes?
It gets turned over to the county, and then, it gets re-levied in their
They can foreclose if they don't pay.
I don't know about the foreclosure process if they don't pay their taxes, but I do know that it gets re-levied.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It is significantly lower than that.
Alright, so we're gonna do the consent agenda here, 1-4, so is there a motion to approve that consent agenda?
Motion.
Scott, do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion passed. Moving down to the regular agenda, no public comments this evening. Board information, we're just going to talk about the finance committee is gonna meet before the next board meeting. Is that before the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then there's board information here, there's a lot of stuff going on. Alright, move on to the Lyme.
I just mentioned,
Yep.
today I received the Jeff Lososi's, school board invitation for the December meeting. So I put a copy of it in your folder, I'd like to see what it was about. And I'll need to know before the school board. They came today. It's, school superintendent and board roles. This is baby show.
Should be. The school, they're just using the name for that. Yes. Actions requested to approve the superintendent's recommendation for a 10-year appointment as stated. Do I hear a motion to approve? A motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Scott, all in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion passed. Actions requested to approve a donation from the Lyme Central District from Jennifer. Sorry. Michael. Do I hear a motion to approve the donation?
Motion.
Lynn, Kathy, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Is that money that goes in a specific or does it?
It just goes into the general fund since we use
Not, but
it.
every little bit helps.
Action requested to approve the field trip request for the class of 2022 to Disney in May. Change, obviously, subject to change at superintendent's discretion, depending on how things go in the next 6 months.
They just are trying to get some planning done, so
And you
we're,
gotta do that.
yes, we're going to be optimistic that, things will improve and they'll get to go again this year, so.
I'll make a motion.
Do I hear a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passed. Actions requested to approve the recommendations of the Committee on Special Ed and the Committee on Preschool Special Ed for this year. Kathy, do I hear a second?
Motion.
Lynn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion passed. We're down to Barry.
It has been a busy 3 weeks since I've seen you. It just, you think that you figure the game out and it changed. You never know. But I have to tell you that I've done 10 formal observations on our non-tenured staff, and I am very impressed with these individuals. They bring a lot of knowledge, talent, creativity. Off the cuff, I speak to some of the students. How's it going? Oh, I love this class. I love that class. And that says a lot because kids are very honest. And so it's exciting to see the new staff in the building, the enthusiasm of our staff. And I'm looking forward to great things in the future here with these teachers. I went to the Cape Vincent Chamber to recognize Carrie Albertine. She was Citizen of the Year for the district, and what an honor and what a great teacher. Our drama club is off to a good start. I'm elated that Miss Martineau, she is so enthusiastic. They're going to do Aladdin this spring. We don't know, we're working out all of the COVID details, just very much like sports. There's a building process and decision-making process, but we've got, I think she said 35 students already that are interested in this production. It's a junior version, it'll be a shorter version, but excitement, it's great. I was fortunate to interview a music substitute. She will begin in mid-December following her student teaching. She hails from Belleville Henderson. You'll see that she is under the substitute. Has a nice background there. So things. Halloween went well here at Lyme Central. We also cheered on our girls as they went to the finals. It was a wonderful day. We kept everything in-house and it went well. Christmas concerts are virtual this year, the holiday concerts, because we had to make that decision back in September to keep our music teachers' sanity. They're working to prepare so you'll be able to see a presentation online by them. Great deal of my time has been with the athletics, getting ready for the upcoming winter season. Trying to figure out what we're doing as far as working with Jefferson County for the Department of Health in preparation for the season, putting together the packets for the coaches, and like I say, everything is so. We're moving into the unknown, moving from nothing to something, and trying to give kids great experiences. So. And having discussions around that can be challenged. I know that Mr. Countryman requested numbers for the varsity boys currently, and this is just a grade, not specifically, we haven't done students, it's not based on ability. We have 8 at the varsity boys level, JV, we have 8, 14 at the modified boys level that have signed up. Girls varsity 10, girls JV 5, girls modified 12, cheerleading 13. And we don't know quite what cheerleading will look like. Working with a coach to try to decide. They have had competitions in a packed gym. It wouldn't be my recommendation to set a squad in a packed gym with a bunch of spectators to a competition. I'm hoping we'll find competitions where they have judges and it's a virtual experience and that they can prepare, but I don't know that. So I'm working with a cheerleading coach to figure out what's going on there. Tonight we had an open gym. It was well attended, a lot of excitement there. The new cameras are installed in the gym. It's exciting. So if you want to sit back and have a pizza night and watch a varsity game, in your house, big screen, we hope that everything will go well, but they installed that this week. 50% of our teams are vaccinated. I want you to know that. which, is a good thing, but we hope to increase it. I think that the nurse told us today that there's been renewed interest in vaccinations. I think everyone believes in individual rights of making decisions. It's just when they impact others that we have problems, as you know. So, and I'm so proud of our girls and boys this year. Just a final note, they did, both teams. I worked with some wonderful coaches too, and they've just done so well. So congratulations to our boys varsity and our girls varsity on a wonderful year.
The cameras, will they just be varsity, will they be JV and modified?
They can be used for everything.
Okay.
They can be used, if we decided that we wanted a concert and it can be virtual, it can do anything that,
Okay.
our graduation can go through there if we have it in the gymnasium. The drama club, if we get the rights to do it, that could do it, anything that's in the,
Society.
right, the National Honor Society inductions.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and it's for all of our community, anybody that has the passcode, which will probably be put on our webpage, you can watch all those activities. So a modified game, everything. So that's good for this year. Next year we may change it where it's if things go back to what we think is normal, families may pay for it and the district may not. But this year you can watch everything.
Those numbers are a little low for 5 players on a team.
Well, on 5 players on JVs, but we'll have students move up. Remember, I didn't say it was on ability, it was based on
Right.
numbers, yeah.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have.
But you see that on girls JVs, you had 5. You had 13 cheerleaders. So, right, but you'll have people move up.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard to get. Like basketball for that long.
No, you're not.
You're like.
That's age-based, not ability-based. Yeah.
Just want to check.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so the 3 through 8 results, I've attached those for you. Those came up with being embargo and being on the 28th of October. So I'll share these results with you. I asked you to take them with a grain of salt because it was an unusual year and your hearing loud and clear. So my note on the bottom of the first chart I gave you is that only book 1 was given for both the ELA and math. That's just multiple choice questions, some short answers, so it wasn't a full-blown test that we're used to. Again, kids didn't have to come in for these tests if they were remote. Some kids opted out of these tests, so it was just an unusual year. But for the most part, the kids that showed up and gave it a try. So, we'll still use these results. I attached a copy of where we are regionally. Again, taking those for a grain of salt because we have no clue how many kids tested in other districts or whatnot, but it just gave you something to compare us to other districts in the area. So we do use these tests to just kind of help us maneuver through the curriculum, understand where kids might need some more support and guidance. So we still consider them important to making curricular instructional decisions. Ariana, through her work with the other business officials, reminded us of there are some additional funding available through the American Rescue Plan for our idea that supports our special ed population. So we're looking at ways to utilize those funds and some good ideas, some needs that we have with that population. Big news, this spring we're gonna dip our toe into the computer-based testing for 3 through 8 ELA and math. I think our kids are ready. They do an awful lot on the computers as is. It's just getting them accustomed to what those tools are for this particular test. So we're gonna do some training, some simulations, and see how it goes. Not less paper. See the piles of paper that we go through the booklets. So hopefully it'll be easy. Worked with Mike quite a bit on how to maneuver through that, but we'll figure it out.
Not happening.
That was a grimace.
Oh, let's see. Just a couple of trainings, one on that CBT coming up here next week. And some lead about training recertification to do that annually, so my turn is coming up shortly. And I too have been out in the classroom, watching our teachers teach, and it's great to see them in that realm and watching our kids learn. And you know, we still got some wrinkles to smooth out. It's getting back in the swing of things of being in the classroom and whatnot. But boy, it's great to walk down the halls and hear the learning and the teaching going on and the music playing. It's great to have everything now. That's it. Just a couple other notes there that you can see. Any questions for me?
Now, we just hit upon the meeting that we'll be having with the teachers in regard to the after school.
Oh, yes. So we are gearing up to really take a look at one of the major components of the plan that's put into the grant is an after school program. We're hearing from the meetings that we're having with teachers that boy, I need more time to help build their skills. So we came up with the idea to pay our teachers as tutors after school. So we're getting ready to work with and find the teachers that want to do that and lay out a plan on how we want that to work. Built into that grant is transportation costs, material costs, snacks, food, treatment. It's really help our families and our students close that gap that we're seeing. So we're hoping that we can do this quickly and smooth out or rough out a nice plan and get going hopefully after Christmas break. So we'll see.
I'm very excited about that. That's something that we've been missing, and having those stimulus monies to be able to support that effort, I think will be
Especially if it helps with busing, because kids might stay after school, but if they don't have anybody to pick them up.
That's right.
That's it. So that 21st century grant that we had years ago, that was around for a couple of years. That was really kind of the thought process that we had. That was a great program. There was some tutoring in there, and so we're gonna let
Give
you
it
know.
a shot.
Give it a shot.
You know, our challenge will be if we have enough drivers to handle that transportation, and how do we balance that with sporting needs. But we're really hopeful that we'll be able to figure it out. So. I really don't have anything else, although I do want to just mention, I'm hopeful that you all saw the Parent Square message I sent out today in regard to the screening and the testing for our athletes. Mrs. Dow and I have received a few calls, and there was some concern, some parents that were upset about the thought of us implementing the screening for the children. Certainly we need permission to do that, but my position is, or the district's position is, that if they are unvaccinated and they refuse testing, they will not be allowed to participate in the activities or the sports. Again, there's some misconception out there. One individual I spoke with, was under the impression that the district receives money every time a child is tested, and that's why we were doing 2 tests per week. That could not be farther from the truth. So I did share that we are working through BOCES. BOCES actually received funding for the testing through their stimulus funds, And we're participating just like every other district. And we're doing that because we were utilizing Binax cards, and we were very happy with how that was working. They're not available anymore. You can't get them. The testing piece is a requirement, and when you look at the CDC's recommendations, we really shouldn't even be offering sports right now because of the numbers in our area. So this really is, in my mind and in our mind, I believe, a compromise. It's a way that we can offer these opportunities to our students, but you know, if parents refuse, if they choose not to have the children vaccinated, that certainly is their, they can do that if they want. However, if they don't and they refuse to have testing done, we will not allow them to participate. So I just want to be very clear about that.
Pool testing?
It is pool testing.
It's weird. I mean, I had to do it. I mean, we did the postage. They give you a swab and you do it off the top of your mouth and underneath your tongue.
Yeah.
So it takes like 2 seconds and it's not invasive at all.
Right. So that's you know, and we actually have several staff members who have volunteered. Yeah, so that we have larger numbers.
Right.
The one thing we were a little concerned about was having our bus drivers grouped together if our numbers were too small. But other districts have said, you know, even that is not an issue because the results come back so quickly. So we're not anticipating that it's going to be any challenge. While we're first starting the process, we will have a substitute nurse coming in helping Mrs. Dow so that the process goes a little more efficiently. Great.
All right. Dugouts.
Dugouts, they're almost done. If it would quit raining.
I know, right?
If it would quit raining, yeah, they're there. They're not completely covered yet. The other snafu we've had so the sound system has been installed this week. So they've had a few issues getting that. It's not
Tweaking.
It's tweaking. Yeah. Right now we're trying to also find a bell that doesn't sound like I called no, it's actually like an angel just got their wings, you know. It's kind of a sing-songy little Christmassy sound instead of a bell that tells you to change glasses. So
You can do the right bell.
yeah, we could. I'm not sure what that's going to end up sounding like. But if it's terrible, I'm gonna blame Gary and Pat, quite frankly.
What do we have now for a bell?
What do we have right now? Well, that is the bell we have right now. Yeah. That's the new bell. The old bell was
We haven't had a bell for a
it's
while. The
hasn't
the
worked.
teachers just releasing.
So
Okay. One reading.
yes.
All right. We've done anything anybody would like to add to the meeting on December 9th? I see we have Jamie Cox is coming to speak to us. So
Yes.
you know, anyway. Anything else? Okay, moving down, Lyme Central School District takes action to accept the resignations and appoint the people as listed. Do I hear a motion? Motion. And is there a second? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion passed. Personnel changes as listed, a motion to approve the following personnel changes with the effective dates as listed below. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Then, all in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion passed.
Just one thing that I wanted to mention, we did offer a job to an individual as a cleaner, and the individual accepted the position. It was pending fingerprinting. We have been unable to get in touch with that person since. As far as I'm aware, as far as we're aware, we don't believe she went to get her fingerprinting done. So that was when we started talking about the fact that even though when asked, she indicated it would not be a hardship to pay the money. It perhaps was, but Mrs. Gibbons has made several attempts to reach her. I've made attempts to reach her. She does not respond. Therefore, I sent a letter rescinding the offer of employment, so we are going to start again.
So upon the recommendation, on behalf of these prospective fingerprints, these two customers, do I have a motion to approve it to people listed?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion passed. There is no executive session this evening. So being there no further business or discussion, do I hear a motion to adjourn this regular meeting? Unless there's anything anybody needs to report before we close. Okay, Kathy, do I hear a second? Ray, all in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion passed. Your record. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. And we'll see you all in December.